Hello everyone, welcome to our channel, and in today's video on General English, we are going to cover the remaining rules on articles. So let's start the lecture. And the first rule that we are going to talk about is the definite article the is used when we talk about a particular person or thing or one already referred to. So this means the will be used only in those cases when you are talking about a person or thing in a very specific sense. That means you are talking about a particular person or a particular thing about whom or about which you already know. For example, the book you want is out of print. So just consider this example like some student comes to me and he or she says that he or she wants a particular book. And I tell that student that the book you want is out of print. So this means now we are talking about a specific book about which I also know and my student also knows. So we don't need to introduce the book again over here. So this is a particular or a specific book. Okay, next is let's go to the park. So if I tell you that let's go to the park, then that means we are talking about a specific or a particular park about which both of us know. Okay, so I hope this is clear and we can now move ahead. The situation demands an immediate course of action. So now there is some particular situation which demands an immediate action. Okay, so this is a specific situation about which the speaker and the listener already knows. So we can now move ahead to the second rule, which says the definite article is used before some proper nouns. So by now I hope that you must be aware that we don't use any article before the proper nouns. Okay, proper nouns are the names. We normally don't use any article before them, but there are some very specific cases where you can use the before some proper names. And what are these specific cases? Oceans and seas, canals, deserts, groups of islands, mountain ranges, and a very few names of countries, which include words like republic and kingdom. So these are the cases where you will use the before the proper names. Now, I want you to notice two things over here. The first is groups of islands. I haven't written islands. Okay, I have written groups of islands. So the will be used only before those names of islands which are groups of islands and not individual islands. Similarly, mountain ranges. Alright. So whenever you talk about ranges and not specific or particular peaks, only then you will use the. So we can now look at the examples which will clarify this better. The Pacific, the Black Sea, the Arabian Sea. So before the names of seas and oceans. The Ganga, the Nile, the Amazon before rivers. The Suez Canal, the Panama Canal before the names of canals. The Sahara, the Thar, names of deserts. The West Indies, the Lakshadweep. So I hope that you know that these are the names of groups of islands. Please mind, these are not individual islands. They are made up of small individual islands which make up the entire group. Okay, the Himalayas, the Alps, the Rockies. So when you talk about Himalayas, you don't talk about a particular peak. You talk about the inner Himalayas, the outer Himalayas, the Shivaliks. So there are many peaks which make up the entire ranges. That's why you say the Himalayas, the Alps and the Rockies. The names of countries, the Irish Republic, the United Kingdom and the Netherlands. Now the Netherlands is an exception. It doesn't have any kingdom or republic in its name, but we use the. That's why I told you that this is an exception. So I hope the examples are clear to you, and we'll talk about the third rule. The definite article is used before the names of certain books. So there are some very specific names of books where you have to use the Vedas, the Ramayana, the Purans. Alright? In the same line you have the Bible and the Quran as well. But we should say Homer's Iliad, Valmiki's Ramayana. So that means whenever you talk about these books and you specify which book are you talking about, or you specify a particular version of the book, then you don't need to write the before it. Alright? So that means before the names of books, if you have any description or if you have any adjective, then you don't have to write the. So we can now move ahead and talk about the fourth rule, which says, before a proper noun when it is qualified by an adjective or a descriptive phrase. So that means you have to use a definite article before a proper noun. In which case, when it is qualified by an adjective or a descriptive phrase. So if there is a proper noun which has a description attached to it, only then you can use the before it. The great Caesar. So over here you can see that Caesar is a proper noun and the description is great, or great is an adjective. So we have used the. The immortal Shakespeare. Shakespeare is a proper noun. Immortal is the description or an adjective. So we have used the. Now don't confuse it with the previous example. Okay, that is an independent rule which talks about only books. And this is an independent rule which talks about only proper nouns. Don't mix up these two rules. We look at one more example. The Mr. Roy whom you met last night is my uncle. So Mr. Roy is a proper noun and this is the entire description. Okay, that is why we have used the. I hope these rules are clear to you. There are a few more things which we have to discuss and we can take them up in the next video. Till then, please keep practicing, keep studying and keep solving the questions. Thank you.